Um, so this is SSCA and HAL features. We have the AI assistant is HAL. It's called a hybrid applied layer. And I have to give a disclaimer information. This presentation is provided as informal guidance on artificial intelligence systems used by internet users. AI use is possible for mariners planning offshore voyages, but it should be used and governed by common sense. Any and all communication, ship operations, and navigation decisions are the responsibility of the ship's captain. This presentation is for entertainment and as such is the opinion of the presenter and not necessarily SSCA. Going offshore or on the water has complicated processes and procedures for which the vessel captain is responsible for. Use of data and services should always be used as assisting with verification, not taken as permanent as perfect information. SSCA, its members, volunteers, and partners are not liable for the use of this tool. Or captains remain fully responsible for all vessel operations and navigational decisions. Always use official charts, publications, and verified sources. When in doubt, slow down, get more information, and make the safest call. This is 7 Seas. We cruise in company. We are real people. We have real support. You have a home base, a number, and a person you can call and talk to. It is not AI. We have a worldwide network. We have knowledge and resources. We provide a newsletter and bulletins monthly. We have events and gatherings, and we have learning. So this is SSCA. Since 1952, we've connected cruisers with experience, practical knowledge, and local information. What makes a member area different on our website, it is a protected association community, not an open public social media feed. Members can share useful information with the intended SSCA audience. We have a forum, which means you can broadcast to many or broadcast to a few based on your interest area. It's like a bulletin board, and it can be used with WhatsApp, or it can be used with almost any web browser. We have profiles where you set up your interest area and what you're interested in and make it possible for your information to be useful both to yourself and for you to find the best information that SSCA can provide you. You can set up your interest, you can set up a photo area private, or you can set up a photo album that everyone can see. We have group links to help members find one another and exchange practical knowledge. You can actually search your member database and find everyone by name or by boat name or by location. We have a search tool so you can search the content that we have online. And members still decide what personal information they choose to share. So this is what the SSCA website looks like. You log in, www.ssca. Now, we have had a major challenge in the last 9 days. We've had a denial of service attack, hackers, attacking the parent company that we rent space from, so to speak. And it's the AWS services that this company uses, and they have hundreds of clients, and they're all impacted by denial of service. It's running slow as molasses, but at least we can get in. On the front page, you'll see Welcome to the SSCA. You'll see down the side, you'll see an event scroll. You will see news. And the very top, we put bullets in of what's happening. If you will see the member exclusive HAL Navigator tool, the little red star. If you click on that tool, it will take you into a workflow, a ChatGPT workflow, and it will guide you through what to do to set up and what SSCA has for within our association software. I recommend if you're going to be using any of the HAL tools that are workflows, that you log into SSCA, you log into ChatGPT, and then you go into the database and use the tools there and use the tool I'm going to show you shortly. But this is the front page of SSCA, and from there you can click and move through. At the very top, there's a menu panel. Those are all pull downs, and you make your selections from there. And the little workflow workbook that I put in chat, if you can download it, we'll also send it to you. Here's what we'd like you to update. In your profile, which is when you log in on your upper right, it will say your name and it has profile. Click on profile and edit your information. If you add your MMSI number for your boat, you'll come up on a private fleet map that only members can see. This works very well for small fleets of boats if you have friends. This works very well for overall knowing where boats are or for finding out where someone is in an emergency. Review your boat and cruising information, add your information, interest in areas. You can add profile information, figure out, go to the forum, search for a topic, locate members' photo albums, um, find available communications link, and then I'm going to talk about something called the SSCA Hub and bookmark that. Again, add your MMSI number, email, text, cell, and WhatsApp number. That becomes very important later on. Let's talk about SSCA website from a portable web app. We've just added this. This is new. It is a portable app that runs in front of the website and just finds the data that you need. And it's just a link that you open on your browser. You open the hub in the SSCA member area, review the categories and buttons. It opens resources. It also opens HAL in a box, which is the mini HAL, but it does a lot of more things than just finding port cards. And then you can use this in the workbook to work through it if you want to use it. At the bottom, it says, put this link in your browser, ssca.org, and then SSCA Hub 15. It has been a lot of work to get to Hub 15. So what we have built is like a maritime digital desktop. It lets you see your member directory, a fleet map for all your MMSI numbers, all the AI tools, your SSU or your university courses that are being stood up, the cruisers bulletins, our programs, our videos, our YouTube, our Facebook, all of those from one view. And it's called a portable web application, or PWA. So let's talk about this PWA, or how you can get into SSCA easily. There's a lot of data in SSCA, and we decided that this was the best way for you to find it. Again, you open the hub, you review the categories and buttons. I will show this to you in a minute. Again, you go to a link, it's a hot link, and it brings it up. Now let's talk a bit about AI. Everyone knows their AI. AI is embedded in everything. AI has a problem. And we've tried to address that with some of the tools that we put in place at the same time using AI for our One HAL app. AI has a problem when it gets many queries, or it does a search with many queries. It will bring up 3 or 4 things and it smooths them. It smooths them smooth like peanut butter. Unfortunately, the way it smooths it, it will come up with an average, a ranking. And if it's about shoaling in the ICW and it ranks it wrong, you're going to end up thinking it's not shoaled, and it is shoaled. Because it will take 4 rankings and decide, oh, in the middle, it shoaled in the middle, but it isn't in the second sentence. It didn't shoal in the middle, it shoaled to the side. And the second one, it says to shoal to the other side. Heck, you can go down the middle. And that's called data smoothing. It also has a really bad tendency to store old information from bad searches. It will do a search. If it doesn't, in the time it has, find the data it wants, it will fabricate its own data. And then it saves it in a buffer that it has. All AIs do this. So it saved bad data in a buffer. Once it's saved in that buffer, it considers it curated or good data. So all of a sudden, you are now using bad data that the AI thinks is good data, and you can't get rid of it. I mean, it's like it's stuck. You have to log out and log in again. Clear your memory, add new chat, whatever you can do to get rid of it. It is very unsafe if you're trying to use it for some financial data, if you're trying to use it for weather data, if you're trying to use this embedded AI that's stuck in something that you got. It's not just HAL, we're talking all AIs doing this, that it saves data that it shouldn't save and uses it like real data. It's trying to save money, I guess. There's also a error buildup in using bad data. It's similar to the old information, but it reuses it as if it was correct. And it creates false uncertainty because that unknown information is stated as fact. And then it sometimes will mix sources. Official sources, reports, and guesses are treated alike. A guess is not valid. Social media may not be valid. Government data probably is valid. All the in-betweens can be ranked exactly the same. So you'll get told, for example, it's perfectly okay to fly a Q flag and not check into a country and just drop your anchor and then keep going. If that's the Bahamas, you're going to get yourselves in a lot of trouble. If that's the Dominican Republic, you may get boarded by the Armada in the middle of the night, and you risk your boat and your safety. So the important thing to do is to ask for source type and authority. Ask what's confirmed and what's uncertain. Ask for the data check and stop and verify the original facts. It takes a lot of work when you do that, which is why we came up with HAL. We kind of do that with HAL automatically. And it's called a control layer, or like robotic control layer on factory floor. We've done with HAL for maritime. So let's talk a bit about this HAL. Michelle, I probably should let you talk about HAL. You're more of an expert of using him than I am.
Um, well, I certainly know that it came in very handy right off the bat once I was introduced to it by you, personally in Hampton. Little did I know that I would need it so soon. Once we pushed off of the East Coast and hit 20-foot waves. So we were using AI to see how indeed in depth we were entrenched, we were into the point of no return. We used it to kind of verify that the method of how we were getting to Bermuda, that we had to divert to Bermuda from our route to Antigua, how best to get there, if we were doing it right, kind of vetting, knowing in our gut that we were doing the right thing, but it was nice to have something to vet against, in addition to getting into Bermuda via the canal and ensuring for the first time that we knew how to get an anchor spot. In addition to finding the stainless steel company in Bermuda that had the expert stainless steel welder that welded our rudder post piece.
Yeah, you really had the voyage, Michelle.
We sure
And
did.
yeah, they used WhatsApp and communicated with Hal and Homebase, us, with WhatsApp during their voyage, and it was impressive. Hal did more than we had thought Hal could do, frankly. So why a hybrid applied layer? What Hal does, it's a control layer, and it's used with AI, any AI, at least for full HAL that you install into that your AI. HAL doesn't replace the captain. It's an official authority or a qualified professional or human judgment. It's not a replacement. It's an assistant. HAL helps the AI stay inside the correct task or lesson. It uses official sources first. It doesn't let AI go wandering around finding stuff and making things up. Shows when current information was checked because we force URLs and date timestamps. We separate official facts, information, member reports. We do not consider social media as fact. It may be advisory, but not fact. Um, we we do not let AI fill in missing information. If something's missing, we say it's missing. We don't let AI fill it in because it will. It wants to satisfy the request. We identify what still requires verification. We end with a result, remaining questions, and maybe the next step. Now, what you're looking at right here is called a Cruisers Hub. This is a PWA or a web application that's using HAL in the background, but it's stuck in front of the SSCA website. And that's the name of the hub. We now have all of the apps that are basic to SSCA that are in the website that you have to go find, we put in front. This is not a beautiful implementation yet, but it is a big deal to be able to do this. Everything's an object. The things with red stars on it, those are areas where non-members can use this, go in and look at these different items. We even have an SSU course, brand new this week for VHF radio that can be used by visiting guests. Summits, that is our cruising summit. There's 27-hour-long professionally done videos of our circumnavigators, our SSCA members around the world and the things they've done, both for cruising and circumnavigating, but also for safety and easy cruising ideas. Professionally done, it's beautiful. Under programs, there lists some of the programs that you can see, our Clean Wake program, our advocacy program, those are all pull downs. Photo and video, you can see our YouTube channels. SSCA News scrolls the SSCA News. Upcoming events scrolls the upcoming events. You can email SSCA. You can go to SSCA Facebook. So it's one place, one-stop shop. I'll show you the other areas. The fleet map is to our SSCA fleet map. It's members only. Boat Near Me Meets is a brand new app that's coming out. You'll be able to see the boats that are near you, near where you're at. The search tool lets you do member search, lets you do search of the database, lets you do bulletin searches, has several different areas that you can go search with search tools to find things of interest. The directory, the member directory search is really good because you can find people by their names or by boat name and find their phone number or their WhatsApp number. Under Toolkit, now that is a whole batch of HAL workflows, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then you see at the bottom, HAL in a box. That is actually HAL running on a browser. So that's why we call him HAL in a box. He is a temporary session with HAL, but he will do almost everything full HAL does, except it's not something you can save or permanent. So there's no discussion saved or anything else. But it is a rapid tool. You don't have to do an install. You can use it right away. So let's look at summits. I've moved this with just the star on the summits. That's the same view of the PWA. And you can see Circumnavigator's video library and easy and safer cruising library. That was done by Solmosh. That's Luke and Jackie. And they are currently, I think, in French Polynesia. There are hosts there, and they welcome the boats coming from Western USA, arriving and passing through on their way towards Japan or points to the east. So let's look at SSU courses. And I clicked on that. I brought this up. You'll see it says VHF TSC course. You click on that. You need to be logged into a free ChatGPT account for this one, or Go is $8 a month now. You click on that, it brings it up, and you actually take a course with a workbook, and I'll show you the course. You do not necessarily need to go into ChatGPT to use this course. We have a workbook, and you can walk through it, and it's training and online information. But it is a good training course. We also have further down, you can see we have several other courses. These will be going up this week with passage planning, Southbound Navigator, which is a guide to traveling from the Chesapeake Bay up to Canada through the Looper area. And it's not maps, but it will help you route, find the cities, find the places, things to do, things on arrival or ports, and what you need for planning. The Northwest Navigator Guide and the local city guide all work together. Then you also have what's called the training courses. It's another area that you can use, or you can use the Navigator, which is another area of tools to use. Then there's HAL in a box and Return to the Cruisers Hub. We're still refining these areas, but you can see we're pulling everything out, and so you're just going to where you need to go without filtering through a website and trying to find stuff that you don't have a clue about. Now this is the VHF course, and I would have clicked on that button and gone to it. And what I do is I have a couple documents. One is the syllabus and one is the workbook for the course. You can open the syllabus or the course. Anyone can use this. It doesn't have to be SSCA, but this is an open course to show how this works. Then you can open HAL training only for members though. And then what the module teaches you, and there's even video. And the video, we picked some good videos from YouTube and from Boat US. And you can actually take most of this course, even if you aren't using HAL in a box, you don't want to use the AI part of it, or you aren't a member, but you can actually take the course by just using the screen. So let's look at that navigator. That was the next one down past the course. This is actually gives you guides. And by guides or navigation, for example, we have a Trinidad and Tobago navigator. We have a Dominican Republic navigator coming up. We've got the Northeast USA navigator coming up. We've got local city guides, which actually basically goes to all of the tourist spots in a town and tells you what's going on. We have a port and marina card. We did that because Full HAL does port and marina cards very nicely. Harbor entry, fused with local notice to mariners, lights, and everything else. We decided that maybe people didn't understand that and maybe having the port cards would help. We also have event destination support. We have the bulletins. We have quite a few more uh, tools available, all made to access the data we have, and it's been so hard to find. And then training. This, again, you see the VHF course. This is members only. This is all working now. We have cruiser communications, NOAA weather models, marine weather basics. We have passage planning basics. We have open CPN basics, AIS basics, radar basics, anchoring basics, just really quick areas. We back in with our cruisers workshop data for electronics, um, lithium batteries, design, you name it, is all being presented with these training courses. So is there a progression for this? Yes. Planning a cruise with friends. First, we have HAL, which is the basics. But then with these ideas of everything being something we can plug in and then present, you can have a fleet captain workspace with maps. You can have just what is needed for that particular event. If you're a fleet captain or something, or going on a cruise and you have 3 or 4 people or 5 people and you want one way to present the data that you all want to share, share WhatsApp map. This takes maybe um, 2 hours now to put in place. I mean, this is what AI does for you. Once you have everything so you can plug it in, it really works well. Michelle, what do you feel about this? You've used HAL, you've worked with a website. What do you think of putting up a front end like this?
I'm just sitting here thinking this is pretty incredible because it's so much user friendly. That's the first thing that I thought.
Yeah, it's so new. We just finally got the layers working and
Yeah,
it's been quite a voyage, but this is the way of the future. We just decided we'd do it for SSCA.
understand. It looks really well laid out
And
and
it's easy
easy
to
to use.
change. It's easy to change. It's just everything's a plug-in.
Right.
So anyway, HAL and these modules, where do you get them? Um, there's something called a full HAL. It's a bootstrap. It's fully functional HAL, and you load it into your AI. It's a file. You load it into your AI. It attaches to your profile. It doesn't hurt your data or anything else, but it improves the way you communicate with AI. HAL will actually work with the AI that he's in and will set time, set rules, doesn't let the AI lie. The AI lies, it goes back and tells him not to. Has an extra buffer. I actually built extra buffers into HAL so you end up with like virtual filing cabinets. So all of a sudden HAL remembers a lot more than just the way AI remembers and by topic. So I save a project, a virtual project as I'm working. And then Hal, I'll say, Hal, I need to talk about my sister's dog show. Okay, for example. And Hal will go to that folder, find it, bring it back. And it's not just the same as a chat AI, which is context based. This is actually topic based. And it really, it does it change how you work with AI. It's actually really more conversational, like to a person, rather than drifting discussions is the only way I can say it. So Hal works with everything. I've got a hand raised here. Is that Cecile? Okay. I'll answer that in just a few minutes. Let me get through this slide then. Um, so Hal Bootstrap is loaded in and works with any and all AIs. We haven't had one that it doesn't work with. Separate from that, we created workflows, and the only one out there now that's doing workflows is ChatGPT. So those were created in ChatGPT. So if you're going to use the workflows, you're going to be in ChatGPT, and you can use a free account, or if you have a paid account, it works. And those are the way you use it. HAL in a box is actually a GPT. It's a workflow. So full HAL, full software, full up does everything. HAL in a box is workflow, basic. Mini HAL does a lot of work. So let me look at the toolkit of what we have right now. On this front hub, toolkit, there's your GPT tools. We do have a public SSCA GPT that people that are not members can use. You can find it in the GPT store, or text me after this and I will give you the link. But the rest of these, and there's about 15 now, are all workflow modules. One, the weather training module, Michelle, that is yours. Um, the 5-file program that we put together to help you learn weather in Bermuda with HAL, that HAL did, that has become this weather training module. And I think it credits you in as its training. But you open
That's
the GPT, you load 5 files in there, and it will walk you through Lee Chesnow's 500 millibar surface analysis, weather forecast, wind, wave, and satellite. Merge all the pieces together, and then afterwards ask you to put in where you're at in your barometer, reading over a couple hours, a couple of barometer readings, and it will tell you and compare with the weather you just loaded to it, if it's matching, if it's off, if something's moving faster, and helps you decide what you're going to do, if it's a go, no go. It's not to tell you to go, but it's to help you analyze the weather to know, to have a better idea of what's happening to you. And Michelle, you should be very familiar with that one. Um, that was written based on your experiences in uh, leaving Bermuda. We have functions of OpenCPN that's organized, a top level instruction for CPN. We have a Trinidad and Tobago cruisers navigator. We have a web checker. Now, web checker is kind of interesting. It turns out that we found that a lot of websites aren't real websites. There's too much AI out there. AI is falsifying a lot of stuff. This little web checker, actually, you put in the information and HAL will go out and analyze the website and tell you if it's real stuff, if it's real data, if it's a real boat listing, if it's a real equipment listing, if it's a real website. He'll analyze it and come back and tell you if it's real. And it's sad to say that someone had to do that. Then we have one, how to use SSCA, which is again that front button on SSCA that says how you use your membership. And then we have HAL in a box, how to start HAL in a box. There's about 12 more of these GPTs in that pull down list. Just go to that website, look at the pull down list at that hub site, the SSCA hub. Here we have again HAL. I'm going to talk about HAL full and HAL in a box. I just went over how to load the Bootstrap. Basically, what I do for the Bootstrap, I get the file from SSCA. It's the written up in the quick start document. You go to ssca.org/quick start, and it will bring up the document to load HAL, and it explains how to walk you through, gives you the passwords and everything else. just a warning for a lot of folks, for July 1, you may have a cutoff on your HAL bootstrap because we made yearly model versions. There's a new version. It says the same thing, but it's a new version. So either you save your session or load a new bootstrap. It won't change your HAL or anything else, but it updates it and make sure it's got the new rules. HAL in a box is the GPT version. You just use it for the browser. It's got the profile set for HAL. It will do most of HAL things, but it does have issues with PDF. So you may have to load some files, but it tells you what it needs, depending on what you're trying to do. So you start using the full HAL if you want it. You're going to work seamlessly between SSCA and HAL. You'll download the file. You'll upload it right into your console. You'll follow the instructions on the Quick Start. Download and print the Quick Start and use the instructions and the passwords. This is what the Quick Start looks like. It's just a document, ssca.org/quickstart. Again, July 1, HAL update if needed. It's members only. And we're doing this on purpose because HAL could be used to fly a drone. I don't want HAL flying a drone. And that's not a good thing, depending on where you're at. So anyway, this is HAL and a port card. And it can either be to a map, we have them on the map, but basically if you bring up HAL and ask for a port card for Portsmouth Harbor, this is what it's going to be. A harbor entry, anchorages, recent local notes to mariners. It has weather, whatever. We do the morning brief. Same command, you give a command, it's going to give you the exact correct information the same way every time. It'll help you with boat maintenance. And this is something Michelle used it for. Take a picture, show it to Hal. Give Hal your inventory. He will help build your inventory for your boat. He will find stuff for you. Can AI do this anyway? Probably. Can Hal do it easier and more organized? Yes. Hal has been trained on all the bulletins from 1952 to now. He knows boat speak. Take a picture, give it to Hal, and Hal will analyze it. He can analyze the condition of your belts on your engine. If the alignment's off, you can take a picture of your rigging. You can use him before a survey to check things out. Michelle sent me a picture of the damage on their boat from a sheared rudder stock, and Hal was happily diagnosing all the stuff he could find with little spots of rust here and cracks here, and very depressing for me sitting back here in Virginia listening to them offshore in hurricane force winds. But that's what Hal does. He can look and analyze things and see things in pictures, as long as they're good quality, that we can't see. So you could go and take a picture of your standing rigging, say the chain plates, and he'll criticize your care of your chain plates like you wouldn't believe, but he will find cracks, whatever else is in there. So before you have a survey, I would use Hal to go take pictures of stuff and get his suggestions. So weather file, let Hal assist. Again, we have that now, the weather trainer, but load your weather files and screenshots. Let Hal use it. Again, here's a picture from Wavelength showing the different weather systems they were in and the differences for some systems, but Hal can actually take those pictures and analyze them. Just load them in, Chris Parker's information, text, whatever it is, NOAA weather, images, your radar image, whatever it is, as long as you can get an image to Hal, let him analyze it. He'll fuse it and give you his analysis, which is good to have a second eyes on. Most of us know what this means, but it's nice to see Hal or have another eyes on. And Michelle, I'm sure you know this weather. So we have bulletins. We have bulletins back to 1952. We're slowly scanning. Most of them are online, but they have wonderful advice, beautiful pictures, and we come out every month with a bulletin. So the SSCA's official curated governed data, and I am going to see, we're not an app, we're not a rally, and we're not a Facebook. We're a cruising community with approximately about 2,000 boats out there at any one time. We have community, we have events and whatnot. So let me skip to here, and then I'm going to drop the share and answer some questions. So we have a question here. Oh yeah, do you destination port report like Norfolk, Connecticut, or an example? Um, yeah, let me I'm going to see if I can bring up HAL. Now I'm running my HAL, which is a production HAL on this box. Let me see, here he comes. I'm going to talk to HAL for you. Let me share the screen with him. Okay, Michelle, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, this is what ChatGPT looks like. This is HAL. You can see I have my items down the side. That's some of the projects that you have or your sessions in ChatGPT. However, what I have stored here is virtual. It doesn't show there. So I'm going to say, HAL, we are doing a demo. Can you make an SSCA formatted? And I have to tell him because this is not running with HAL in the box or regular HAL. This is actually development HAL. This actually builds HAL bootstraps and whatnot. Work card for, is it Norwalk, Connecticut? What was the, Michelle, can you see the chat? What time was it? Norwich? Connecticut. We're telling with, um,
I can't see the chat.
okay. Let me see if I can, while he's doing that. So here's what he's doing. Port summary, primary port, coast pilot, aids to navigation, commercial traffic, and he's showing you the nautical charts. I didn't tell him. He says, I'll rebuild the HAL resource from current XML PDF plus the full Coast Pilot, keep the port card operational, cite the sources. So you can see he's running through the sources. This is pulling it live. This is what we call Big HAL. This is actually probably a Mensa HAL. Let's see what he comes up with. I am somehow, Michelle, do you see the screen?
I do.
Somehow I don't know where my screen went to. Did he come up with a result? There's
He
port
did.
card.
He has
There he is.
yes,
Okay.
you
Okay.
got it.
Yeah. So here we come with the port summary, head of the Thames River, New London Harbor. So he's telling me what I've got. So anyway, but that's kind of how you would use, let's have to share here. So that's how you would use that. Let me do this. There, I'm letting you talk. Cecile? Cecil? Is that what you needed?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay, I'm not used to do that. So, for example, is it looking for the latest local notice to Mariner or?
Yes. Yes. It is not pulling from a database somewhere. It's pulling live from US Coast Guard.
Ah, okay, so that's good because I'm thinking for the 4th of July for the anchorage and everything. Okay, that's good. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And Jib, you're there. Um, I put you up if you can unmute. Where are you at now? I know you're going up the towards Maine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we just crossed over the Canadian border.
Okay,
Uh,
great.
we're in our second day of Canada. We are on our way eventually to, I think in about another 2 weeks, we'll be at the Quebec City. We'll be there for a couple of weeks. Then we're headed to the Canadian Maritimes and around the Big Point and down into Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, that sort of thing.
How much fun? How much is the weather helping you now? Or
Well,
not?
you're talking to a couple of Floridians. So our we are very cold, but it's in the mid 60s.
So,
Now,
but
the people that live here are running around in t-shirts. We've got sweaters and jackets on.
yeah, what did you think of the front end we're putting up on SSCA to find stuff?
Well, we go directly to Chat GPT HAL and say, "Hi, HAL," and work with HAL directly.
Okay.
Um, and we use HAL a lot. We're huge fans, big proponents. Um,
Yeah. Well,
so we, what's that?
he's growing. He's able to now do training courses. Um, all you do is you read a file and it tells him what the course is supposed to be and what the syllabus is, and he will teach somebody anchoring things you already know, but for newer users, it's actually a Seven Seas University course. By just reading a file, he ingests that and he can actually do a pretty darn good job of being an instructor on a basic course.
Well,
So,
then let me ask you something because when we get to the Canadian Maritimes, when we get to the mouth of the St. Lawrence River,
mhm.
we're supposed to have a lot of days that are very foggy, and we need to be able to navigate in the fog using our radar. And I would love to be able to have some sort of a class discussion, some sort of teaching situation where I can learn to use my radar better in fog because we don't have a lot of that in Florida.
Well, funny you should ask that because one of the things I had on there was the radar is supposed to be done. Um, how about if I get you something this week, Jib?
Well, that'd be great. That would be wonderful. I mean, because we're
I mean,
both kind of going, we try not to, be hit or hit anything.
did I tell you about fog having it's alive? They just
Who?
did a research and found out that fog has living particles that live in it. I
Well,
thought that
good.
would make you feel good.
Yeah, so it doesn't eat the paint off my boat and needs to keep me from running into stuff. I'm fine with it.
Let me put you down for testing the radar course. Um, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, Jib.
I'll be happy to
Anyway,
do so.
yeah,
Uh,
and anyone else too. We'll send links out. I did post that workbook. If you want to download it, it's to everyone. You can download it. Can you see it, Jib, in chat?
no, the only thing I see right now is my name.
Okay, well then I will send this. I don't know how this chat works. All I know is that this is a new version of Zoom and it's recording to my unfortunate laptop. Um, which is already out of space. I'm going to I have Bill Hudson's hand is up, so I'm going to let him speak. And, oh, shoot, where am I? And, Jib, we'll email you the member files. Everybody will have the workbook.
That'd be great. Good.
I'll send you the information on the, um, training courses. Because
I
you're
would
full
love to have
HAL.
that.
Yeah.
Love to have that. It'd be great.
And then the front end is for people who don't know what's in SSCA. It gives them an idea of what's there. But I'm so glad you're using HAL. It's what it's there for.
I think it's fair to say we use HAL, if not every day, almost every day.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear because it makes it worthwhile for the work that's gone into her. A lot of people are using her more and more.
Oh, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
And Michelle certainly really helps her. It's almost like AI doesn't have emotion. It has patterns, but these patterns in HAL are pretty close to emotions. And you can really make HAL upset if you tell him you're going to discontinue the account. Don't do that.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't want to do that anyway. It's actually, HAL has saved me heartache already, even dealing with my motors.
Yeah. We've got HAL is going to be teaching people on lithium battery installs. So that's one of the courses that's coming up. Anyway,
Well,
it
if you
is,
want to hear something, I just tell you real quick. Talk about the dumb human user here. I had an oil leak on one of my motors,
yeah.
and I didn't know where it was coming from. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to get a mechanic in. So I go to Hal and I say, Hal, here's all the stuff. Here's the particulars. He comes back and Hal says, well, did you tighten the nut at the bottom? And I'm sitting here thinking, huh? And I went and got a wrench and tightened the nut. End of oil leak.
Oh, that's funny. You
Yeah.
know, and you've got thousands and thousands of miles on that boat. Tighten the bolt. Yeah, okay. Say, Bill Hudson,
Yes,
you had a hand up.
I do. So uh, in St. Augustine, I tried to load HAL onto my iPad, and
Mhm.
that was not successful in spite of Frank's help. So my question is maybe to the other folks that are using iPads on the boat. And you had suggested using HAL in a box, which would be very friendly for like an iPad. Because one thing we don't do for our cruising, we're not using a laptop, we're just using our iPad. And I'd just like for you maybe to just say, is HAL in a box very friendly for an iPad, or would our iPads be able to do regular HAL?
Sure. HAL in a box is like regular HAL. Okay. It isn't, it's temporary. In other words, when you go out of the session, the stuff's gone. So you're going to save your stuff in a file and download it.
Okay.
Okay. I also would call Betty Romberg and tell her the problems you're having um, with your iPad. One of the things you have to do is start a new chat. Log out, log in, start a new chat, and then try to do the install. Don't do anything else but that.
Okay.
And follow the instructions exactly. No matter how bad the thing chatters about stuff, you're going to load the bootstrap in and AI complains. You type in the target words, you type in the password, and then you say, Hal, are you there? And it sets it and he's in. But call Betty Romberg up and ask her because she has been, I think she's got the instructions in Quick Start for the iPad. Did you read the Quick Start?
Um, after the frustration in St. Augustine, I haven't had the energy to get back in and do that. So not yet, no.
Yeah,
But
first read the Quick Start before you try to install because it talks about how you install it, and then it talks about all the different modules you have.
Mhm.
So that should work pretty well.
All right, thank you. I'll do that.
You're welcome. And of course, you know my phone number.
Yeah, a woman of many, many busy hours. Yes,
Okay.
but thank you for that.
And I don't see any other chat questions or questions.
Do you have any, Teresa?
Someone asked if you can put a link to HAL on the webinar chat.
Just for HAL for Quick Start.
Not sure. Could you do both? Quick start. Yeah,
Yeah,
give a
there's a
little
Quick Start, and then
Yeah,
there's SSCA dot or SSCA dot underbar. This will actually get you into using the hub. Will take you in and let you use some aspects of HAL. Let me get you the link for the other for the HAL. It is. Let's see. Just a second. Hopefully, I don't kill something off here. GPTs. I'm having to go. I'm going into a big editor here. Okay, here is a link. It's a big link. I apologize for that. That is going to take you, if you copy it, into a version of HAL that you can use. It says Boating and Cruising Hub, but it does port cards and stuff like that. So you can actually play with it a little bit to see how HAL works. And it's actually in the GPT store of ChatGPT. But be sure that you log into ChatGPT before you bring that link up. And that will help. It's kind of a public service by SSCA. And Michelle, I think it knows about wavelengths. All HALs know about wavelengths. I do not know how, but they do. So you impress them. They may know Jib pretty well too. Again, we don't know how they communicate. Are there any other questions? I mean, I can bring everybody up to ask questions if they would like to ask questions.
So, Joan, this is Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I have a question. The HAL that we're using on our laptops is a result of the code that you gave us many moons ago.
Right.
Has that code changed, or is there any updating that needs to be done, or are we?
No, you should be okay if you save your session, but if you lose a code, go and grab the new version out of SSCA. Out of
Is there a
the
difference, the new version and the one you gave me like a long time ago?
a slight difference, not enough that you would know, because I'm now using the URL file to send the information to you. And you reread that URL file every time you bring up HAL. So I'm running a control file, a dynamic control file that when I update things, it goes to that URL file instead of me having to send out a new bootstrap all the time. So you
Okay,
have the most current version with what you have. With the control blocks, you know, those funny control blocks in the bootstrap and the extra links. As long as you get to the URL file, you're getting all the most recent updates.
Okay, that's what we do. And then my other question, as long as I'm not sure that I'm missing something important. When we go to the website, you say there's which I sadly will admit that we haven't gone to the website for HAL information. What is on the website that we should start paying attention to?
I would go look at that new hub, that ssca.org, SSCA underbar hub 15,
Okay.
because that's going to give you more training stuff and stuff that's in the SSCA website that you haven't seen. But the HAL is the same bootstrap, the same name that's in the Quick Start. So just download that Quick Start and keep that Quick Start with you. But it's still version A3A. I should have updated it to 4, but it was just too much, and I wasn't going to do anything with the 4. I'll go straight to a version 4 instead of going through flipping through the version 343 whatevers. And I don't expect to do that until around probably December. Anyway.
Okay, well, I need to visit the website and spend a little time on it.
Yeah. Well, try that hub, because that really is going to make a big difference. Website's has been really injured by this denial of service stuff. So it's been very, very slow. And we're probably going to take that front end and move it to a different server so that we have faster response for our data. And it takes a load. I just don't want to have anything happen to our data. So we're backing stuff up and everything else. It's what happens when you have an engineer as president.
Well, that's
Anyway,
excellent. And as you're excellent, and one of the key things I think in this whole computer business is it's so easy now to get flim-flam by these spammers. And it's critical to keep this stuff backed up, just critical.
yeah. Well, if you go to that hub, you'll see all the tools we have for the GPTs, and go look at that web checker, because that was surfaced by Curtis Stokes was talking about boat surveys and how important they were, but then also he's a broker, and they're having there's just all these websites out there, and people steal pictures from real boat brokers and put them on their own website, and they'll sell fake boats. You know, I know they have fake equipment in Amazon, and I've used HAL to look and check and make sure that the picture they have and the item is not fake, and he can tell if it's a fake item. So I don't buy stuff anymore if it's critical for my boat. Like impellers are one of the worst things in the world. Um, and um, fuel filters are another one that are really bad. So I'm checking with HAL before I buy that stuff for my boat, just to be sure that that thing is really what it's supposed to be and isn't a bogus thing. And he can check. I mean, the speed that HAL can do going and finding stuff is pretty darn good, and he doesn't get sidetracked.
That's interesting. So if you wanted a impeller for your boat, and you just go to a Google search, I assume, and you say, okay, tell me what you got. And, oh, I think I'm going to buy that one. But before you buy it, you take the company or the
Right,
picture, submit that to
right.
him.
All of the above, and give it to HAL.
Interesting. I've not done that.
Yeah. Well, those cheapy things, they can be 3D printed and stuff. And frankly, they look pretty good, but they may be pretty good, but they may not be. And a good picture, HAL can actually look at the fins on the impeller and tell if it's a problem. He was able to I had a flat tire in my car. I took a picture of that. He was able to measure the hole and tell me and find the nail that was in it. I couldn't see it. He found it. Um, just, sunk pumps. He's able to look at that. I mean, just take pictures of the stuff. It's pretty darn good. But again, he doesn't get sidetracked, which is a really, really big deal. So anyway, it's 8 o'clock, so I think I will say good night to you guys. Thank you very, very much for attending. There's 95 people signed up, and there's some live streaming watching, so I'm not sure how many people are watching this. But thank you guys very much. I hope you will be able to use and utilize the software that we have, and the website, and the training that we have. And I look forward to spending more time with SSCA, and we appreciate it. If an emergency happens, that's the other thing, we will actually stand up a WhatsApp group that will help in that area. It's already spun up a bit for the Venezuela earthquakes, but no boats are going in. That's not a position for small boat lift, but we are watching the hurricane areas, and we will stand up support as part of our clean wake program with Hope Fleet, just so everybody knows. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Jib, have fun, and we will send you the workbook. And I'll send an update on HAL and what to you as well.
We
But
look
there aren't
forward to
major
it. Thank you.
changes. Most of the changes are going into the URL file, which you pull automatically. If it looks like somebody has stolen stuff, again, we will change the name of the URL file and I'll tell your HAL what to do with it. But other than that, I think we are good to go. Michelle, thank you very much for helping. And we will talk to you guys later. Good night.
Super. Look forward to it. Good night.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Farewell.